I think a decent model of attraction from start to finish, full comprehensive overview of game to get decent quality of chicks anywhere up, 8 to 9 range. 10 game, probably similar, but here it is, guys. So attraction triggers why a girl will even want to show interest in you in the first place. These are a lot of your red pill superficial things. So looks, status as far as social circle options. Maybe you're the guy that throws parties and everybody wants to go over to his house, or you have a boat and people, you're inviting people on the boat and you have a lot of friends, and or you just have like a really tight knit friend group that's cool, that's kind of higher up in the status hierarchy in whatever area you're in, whether it's a job, like you're the manager at the workplace, or you are a club leader at your college, the president of the soccer club or the singing club or something like that, and you guys throw a party and the girls are there and they see that you're the president, you're this high status guy having a good time chopping it up with people are talking to him, he has friends, right? So friends, looks is huge. So obviously looks maxing, facial appearance, but also body is huge. So have a good physique. Be like a 9 or a 10 on Instagram. If you were to go and really put effort into posting a really like attractive Instagram picture, like what would that look like? How like hot on paper would you be, right? These are basic attraction triggers. So even if you meet a girl out at a bar, right, and you cold approach her, you go up, you talk, whatever, you get the number, and then you go back and you have like this friend group, and she looks back over and sees you hanging with your friends again, having a good time, and it's like, oh wow, there's like 4 or 5 people over there, girls and guys, they're having a good time, they're all, they all look good. Now that number is more responsive, because she's like, oh wow, he actually has connections, right? And similarly, so in the interaction, right, you just have to have a basic level of confidence and comfort with who you are, knowing who you are, knowing your value. So you're not doing stuff like over pursuing, being too needy, being too simpy, being too beta, pedestalizing her, right? So have a good value, sense in your head and how to come off in a high value way. And so don't be too simpy, don't be too needy, don't be too forceful with closes. Because one thing along this process is maybe you get the number and maybe you get her out on a date or something like that. If you try to close too hard and too soon, it comes off as too needy, too salesy. You're trying to get too much for what's there. You do have to be able to read her body language, read her interest levels. So there's something to be said for a guy that is confident enough to escalate to the next step. When she's like sitting there, like, are you gonna kiss me? Like, are you going to break the touch barrier? Are we gonna touch at some point? Like, oh, I'm too nervous. So no, you have to have also a good balance of nervousness and comfortability escalation wise, because this is something that I've fluctuated between. I've been on both ends of the spectrum, guys, and unfortunately I haven't been where I should be in the middle balance of the spectrum. So for example, on the nervous side, maybe you're like, dang, this girl is like, I don't have an abundance of women, like this is the, I'm kind of into this girl, and so now I'm like kind of hesitant, kind of nervous to like touch her, and now that is bad. However, I've also had many situations actually where I'm like, look, I know I'm better than this girl, so I might as well just try to push it and see how far I can go. And I'm too touchy, too forward escalation, and it's almost like there's no tease, there's no build up, because I'm instantly breaking the touch barrier, fucking with her arms, touching her hands, trying to get pecks, trying to get kisses, trying to get makeouts, trying to get stuff going quick, because I'm like, why not? Why not just get it quicker than having to take her out on 3 dates and eventually get some tail? Like, you know what I mean? So the thing is with that though, is now, like, you'll be in situations with like 6s and 7s over escalating. Sure, maybe it's fun and flirty and she's like, like playfully like shrugging you off and playfully, whatever, but she might not even text back, dude. Like, you might have over escalated too much, right? And there's no tension, there's no mystery, there's no curiosity, there's no kind of more natural, organic curiosity and a slow buildup. So I do think in general, if you had to model it out, you probably should at least maybe be getting a kiss at the end of the date, maybe be doing some light touching during the date, but nothing too goofy and too forward like I've done in the past. So light touching, maybe a kiss at the end, and then maybe next time, the second date, you can invite her back. Maybe you guys can like watch something, do some more like just kind of like arm on the legs, like, you know, maybe like a couple shorter makeouts. Maybe you close if she's more forward and open sexually, or maybe you close sexually on like the third date or fourth date, something like that. I think that's pretty normal, because honestly, for dudes like me that are very okay with this stuff, like, I am more than happy to escalate all the way to sex, like first date, whatever. But it's just the fact of the matter is a lot of these girls, their pace is slower, and fair, you know, because guys, oh, girls with high body count, mother crappers like me come around and they're racking up their body count, so they have to actually protect their body count and qualify a little bit, right? So it's fair play, right? Dudes want girls that have low body counts but then get mad when she doesn't give out. It's so funny. Anyways, so guys, let's just recap real quick. I have a couple more points, but attraction triggers. Have basic attraction triggers such as friends, social connections, status, options, abundance of friends, and social proof. Maybe you're seen around other girls. Pre-selection is kind of blended into that, but it also is very huge, guys. Like, it'll be night and day sometimes, where if a girl sees another girl talking to you, now all of a sudden that attraction trigger is so strong, the pre-selection one. But it's a cousin of social proof in general, where, oh crap, like this guy invited like 6 of his friends out and they all came and he's kind of like the leader of the group, right? That's social proof, but pre-selection is baked into that. Now they see you talking to girls and stuff like that. Otherwise, looks, are you hot? You know what I mean? It's very basic, guys. Like, do you check boxes? Like, yes or no? You know what I mean? Do you have your financial situation together? Are you on a good path in life? Are you ambitious? Are you a winner? Are you successful? Like, do better, have more success, have more health, wealth, and relationships. That's just generally going to make you a higher value guy, more attractive, and those attraction triggers are going to be present. Maybe the girl's into money, maybe she's into friends, maybe she's into a guy that's desired by other girls, maybe she's into a guy that has high social status on Instagram, gets like 600 likes a picture, and his pictures are so hot and girls are in the comments, and she sees that and now she wants you, right? Or you go back to her after cold approaching her at the bar and she sees you talking to a bunch of friends, and she sees you talking to girls talking to you and like looking up at you and fawning over you. That's an attraction trigger. Now she's going to be more attracted. Or she just thinks you're hot in general. That's an attraction trigger. Or she just sees how cool, calm, and collected and confident you are when you are talking to her. Dang, this guy's just like calm, confident, masculine. That's an attraction trigger. So in the actual interactions with her, just having a cool, calm, confident manner, not being too needy, you know, over escalating, needing too much, over validating. Over validating is very similar, if not the essential concept of pedestalization. So do you try to like kiss up to her too much and try to like, you know, fluff her ego so much, like, you're so beautiful, oh my gosh, like, you're the best, like, you are so amazing, how did I ever get a girl like you, like, can you please hang out with me, can we please hang out, fingers together thing. I do it jokingly because I think it's funny, but unfortunately, guys, you can't joke about this too much. I hate to say it. This is at the point where I'm at. Maybe certain guys can get away with it, but I don't know, man. I think it's funny as a guy that is so like calm and confident in who he is and how strong he is, and all, you know, like, guys, like, and then it is fun, in my opinion, to like joke about pedestalizing girls, because it's like, I'm gonna of course like fluff your ego because my ego's already freaking through the moon. Like, I know I'm the freaking man, like, and so it is funny and fun to do that, but I think like girls literally just don't take that joke well. So don't over validate, don't over pedestalize, don't escalate too quick. I know you can, because you're a G like me. You can go in on her, whatever, you can be very dominant, tell her where to go, all this stuff. That's another thing, guys. Be a leader, lead, you know, suggest things, plan things, you know, tell her where and when, that type of stuff. Don't be asking too many questions like, would you want to do this? Do you happen to have any time to carve aside for me? Please, like, we should hang out. Like, I need to see you again. Like, hey, let's do 7:30 at the Rocks, you know, let's grab a drink and then maybe after we can go do this. Cool. Sound good? Something like that, you know. Like, I'm, you know, I'm a guy that's dated before. I know how to do these things. I know how to set things up. I know what what date locations are good. When you are going on dates, guys, ideally you would want something nighttime, something more romantic, cocktail bar stuff. You can do daytime stuff, even for screening purposes, like maybe you're going on a hike or a walk. Maybe you're getting coffee if you want to do more of like a quicker daytime screening thing, just to see how interested she is in you. Does she text you back after that type of stuff, as opposed to having to set up this whole nighttime thing. And maybe it's a crunch, and you know, you could have just gotten coffee like earlier in the week for 30 minutes and you know, whatever, but and seen if the chemistry was there and whatnot. So yeah, guys, attraction triggers, interpersonal interactions with her. Don't be over pedestalizing. Be cool, calm, confident guy. Balance of pushing things forward, but not too much too soon, because that's overly needy and salesy. Because you need that result of like sex or whatever it is for you, or just to feel validated that you're able to push it that far. Like you would. And then eventually, guys, the concept of inbound versus outbound. Attraction triggers are kind of akin to inbound, because she's seeing something in you, and now she's seeing that value in you, and maybe she starts to invest more emotionally or tangibly by reaching out to you and by chasing, right? Inbound is the concept of chasing, of needing to gravitate towards value. So if you find yourself kind of having to initiate contact with her, having to convince her to do things, like stuff like that, that's more outbound and chasing. So as far as how to meet girls, this kind of ties into all that stuff too. So cold approach is great. I think a good model for a lot of guys would be build up yourself, build up those attraction triggers, get some cold approach going, but make it very paced and organic feeling. And because you're going to, that's an outbound start. So what you want to do is eventually transition it to where she's seeing more attraction triggers, she's starting to get more invested in you, and eventually you reverse that dynamic to where she's inbound now, initiating contact after you guys date, after you guys go on the date, after you guys hook up or whatever. She wants to keep seeing you, and now she's chasing you. You eventually need to get that chasing dynamic, because it's a power leverage. You have more power. She's going to be more and more attracted. Power's a whatever word, but like that's the fact of the matter, is like whoever's chasing has less value. They're gravitating towards the value or what they want. The other person is already got the abundance, already has the value, right? Abundance is another big word here, guys. Have an abundance of health, fitness, wealth, options, socially, dating wise, right? So you want to eventually get more and more experience, more and more girls, so that girls can see you with other girls. They see that you're desired, they see that you have things going on, you're busy, you have plans. So stay busy in your social life, guys. Hang out with friends, go to bars. If not, guys, I do a lot of solo night game, so do solo night game at the very least, because what are you going to do otherwise? Stay home on Friday night? No, go out, get 5 to 10 numbers, do some approaches, meet some guys, chop it up. Now you have some connections. Sure, they're not all going to pan out. There is a numbers game aspect to this stuff, but now at least you're getting more experience, more abundance, because what if a couple of those numbers do pan out? Now you have some options, some social proof, things like that going on, and just experience in general. I've been on dates, guys. I've been on dates, that type of mindset. So, when you do get a girl that you're into, you've been there, done that. You're not a newbie, you're not fumbling it because you're stupid and inexperienced. So experience, abundance, confidence, non-neediness, non-over pursuing, but not nervous and unable to escalate because you're just hesitant, you've never been there, done that, you've never been with a girl of her caliber or been on a date like this, etc. And I do think one model, adjacent model I like to look at this from, is the concept of skill building. So if you do jujitsu for like 3 years and you just stick in it, sure, you might suck for the first year, but like literally just time in the game and experience is going to make you just a G and a vet. Similarly, be that with dating. Just, yeah, sure, you might be clunky and chasing a lot in the beginning, but just stay in there, get time, get experience, and now you're going to learn, get better slowly over time, especially for numbskulls like me. It's going to take a little slower for you to learn this shit, but you got to keep failing, keep chasing, keep over pedestalizing, all that shit, and then you eventually realize, like, I need to balance this stuff out more, I need to do this, like, it's very nuanced, this stuff is very whatever. You start to see when girls are high interest, low interest. Does she text back? Does she initiate contact? contact? How many emojis does she use? How invested do her texts seem? Stuff like this. Start to read girls better, read their body language, read their text messages. Start to sift through and different girls and how they respond to you, and be like, oh yeah, I can tell this one's higher interest, this one panned out and she was like this, therefore higher interest girls tend to be more like this, and these ones didn't, etc., etc., etc. So I'm trying to think of there's anything else, guys. Yeah, I mean, eventually you just want to be slowly escalating it towards further intimacy. Intimacy obviously builds a greater bond, and once you guys have crossed certain intimacy thresholds and investment thresholds on her part, she's been responding to you. Now she's maybe initiating sometimes, etc., etc. You can reverse that dynamic, get more inbound. As she sees your value, she sees more and more value, you continue to display it, etc. So I think this has been a good little overview. There's probably some things I'm missing because it's off the top of my head, but use this model, guys, especially for beginners anywhere in your journey. And I think that's all I got for now. Leave a comment, and hope to see you guys in the next one.